You're watching the National Marijuana News.
In order to gauge exactly how dispensaries are testing and regulating their medicine, the National Marijuana News set out to visit pot shops across the Los Angeles area. Throughout the investigation, the team learned a multitude of things about the current state of medical marijuana and how it's being distributed to its patients. With the goal of testing the Diablo OG strain for THC content and microbiological properties, we were made aware of how the strain would make us feel.
Definitely don't go if you're looking to, if you need to do anything.
But what we did encounter was a failure to properly explain the dispensary's testing and regulating processes. We would also go on to find that the sanitary protocols in many of the shops were in fact not sanitary at all. Another example of our investigation led us to a dispensary where the bud tender used technology to get us the details, only to find out his iPad just wasn't current. And once again, sanitation protocols were called into question, even when this bud tender was wearing gloves. You see, the gloves protect the hands, not the medicine. The investigation also found the team had a collective that seemed to know their stuff when it came to their strain's THC content.
If the grower comes in with the test results,
depends on the grower.
But when it came to the layout of the property, it became evident that most patients would have some questions about the safety and cleanliness of this environment. Our investigation also found dispensary owners who were overly confident about their strains.
What's the content in that?
And did everything they could to convince us they were right. This eye-opening investigation also covered what happened next, when we sent all of the Diablo OG samples to the lab to be tested for consistency and accuracy. What we found in the results was surprising, but not shocking. We'll reveal all the samples were inconsistent with the claims, including below average THC content, which was highly touted at each shop. And the results will also uncover that a strain from one particular shop actually failed its microbiological testing, making it totally unsafe for human consumption. In the end, the National Marijuana News investigation uncovered a major problem that can turn devastating for the cannabis industry. And what that is that there's a necessity for testing and regulation of medical cannabis in the United States, equivalent to the serious testing that foods and pharmaceuticals must undergo. Through this TNM News exclusive expose, you'll discover that this lack of proper testing and regulation could set marijuana back to carrying the unforgiving stigma it has struggled with for decades.
You've been watching the National Marijuana News.